Okay, so today is officially day one of the van build. As you can see, it's just an empty van. Day three of the van build, and yesterday we got a lot done. And when I say we, I mean me. I got the swivel seats installed. Those honestly were pretty easy. I was expecting them to take most of the day, but they took less than an hour each, and those are done. And I also got a lot of the insulation up, so you can see that the walls are starting to be covered. But the first mistake of the van build has occurred here, because the insulation that I got is 3M Thinsulate, but I didn't realize that there's multiple different thickness measurements of the Thinsulate, and so I ended up getting what I thought was just a good deal, because what I got is SM200, and it's actually extremely thin. You can see how thin this really is here, and you know, it's like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch thick. Normally what people use is SM600, so that's my mistake. And now that I'm almost done insulating, I wasn't quite sure what to do. So today's day 4 of the van build. Yesterday, we pretty much finished all of this initial layer of insulation. I had mentioned that the insulation I got was really thin, so I did a double layer in a few places. And I also got all of the little nooks and crannies, like these strips here and here, completely filled. So all that is done. But because this insulation was so thin, I'm actually going to do a layer of Reflectix over all of the larger area. So hopefully that will help with the thermal insulation. I also yesterday worked a little bit on removing some components that were up on the windshield. This vehicle was previously a FedEx van, and it had like a GPS and a in-cab camera and a 4G thing. There were just all these little devices and wires that were starting to bug me, so I spent some time removing all of those. So today we are going to do the Reflectix throughout the entire inside, and then when I get done with that, I'm going to start doing pre-wiring and routing all of my wires to the different places that I'm going to need power and switches. Okay, welcome back to another day. Today's day 5 of the van build. Now, I'm basically getting into my 3rd day of insulation, and I'm realizing that the mistake of getting Thinsulate that was extremely thin not only ended up costing me more money, but is taking several days extra, because I'm actually having to cut everything multiple times. Temporarily interrupting this broadcast to show you the reason why I do love Arizona. We're on day 6 of the van build, and it's moving along, but it is going a little bit slower. And today I'm going to be working on the first part of this build that is actually a little bit intimidating, because mistakes could be costly, and that is the vent fans. So I've got 2 of them. I got kind of a off-brand. I've been doing that to try and save a buck here and there, so I didn't get the max air fans, but I got one of the highest reviewed, cheaper versions on Amazon. So today I'm going to clean this stuff out, and I'm going to just focus on getting one vent fan installed. And I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos from other creators that have given step-by-steps in this whole thing. And one thing I want to mention is that I'm not really doing tutorials of how to do these things, because honestly I don't know how. And I'm learning from everybody else that has already posted videos, and I don't think more content is necessary. I'm learning a lot from those, and really this is just about me logging the process of what I'm doing. So today we're going to focus on a vent fan. Let's get to it. Making the hole was a little intimidating, but I think I did okay. You know, there's a few tiny gaps, but overall it's a snug fit, and I'm happy with it. So I spent the first 30 to 40 minutes today just trying to figure out how I could get shade up on the roof, and so that's what I ended up with. And it'll help, but damn, it's hot. Alright, we're back. Another day, another sweaty day. So today is technically the 8th day of the build. I took a day off yesterday to just chill because I was feeling a little overheated, and I needed to let all of these things dry. So I glued all these boards down. I ended up deciding to use a lot of kind of foundation boards, whatever you call this stuff, because the plywood that I'm using is really thin because I'm trying to conserve as much vertical height as possible. So I wanted to make the foundation as strong as possible. So I kind of overloaded on how many boards I'm using. Had all these bricks sitting now for about 36 hours, and it's time to remove them. So today I'm gonna take all these bricks out, and then the goal for today is to get the foundation board, the subfloor, put in. Yesterday, I was able to cut out all of there's 3 total pieces of plywood that make this floor, and they fit so perfectly. Okay, I think this is my 11th day of work, but I feel like I need to mention that the majority of my time is not even being spent doing actual work that I have on camera, because I'm spending so much time taking trips to hardware stores to get the right pieces for things and having to go to multiple places to get the things that I want. And I'm really doing this in small increments, like one little project at a time, instead of getting everything from the store at one time and then going through it, because I'm constantly finding different things that I need in order to get the job done. Yeah, I guess the past couple of days there's been like a little bit of change of heart. I'm feeling like it's a lot of work just to figure out what I need and find places to get it. So all these things just add up to so much extra time, just because this is my first time doing these things. And I think that if I were to do another build, all of this would be happening probably twice as fast. But it does get a little frustrating when you're doing things over and over and you're spending half of every day at Home Depot and Lowe's and Ace Hardware and Harbor Freight and fabric stores. And like another thing I couldn't find, I still can't find locally anywhere, is the right type of self-drilling screws that are going to go through my ceiling panels into my ceiling frame to hold my ceiling up, because I need a very particular length and I want the screws to be small and I want them to have a flat head so that it sits flush, and they need to be self-tapping. And so there's like all these variables, and Home Depot and Lowe's and Ace don't have it. I'm going to have to order it.